Hopefully this sounds alright. But yo, what's good? It's Tog. We back again with another Kano vid. So I had a lot of people asking about certain matchups after my recent Kano Decktech. One of those matchups being the Isylander one. So I'm here to fill in the gaps, do a little walkthrough on my thought processes and stuff behind while I'm playing versus an Isylander. So let's get straight into it. So I did skip a little bit into the game. The opponent's already played a Sigil of Solace, gained 3 health. They're going to follow this up with an E-Strike. I believe they buff here as well. Yeah, buff power. Pretty simple. It's turn 0, so I'm happy to block. Just deciding whether I'm going to block with Sonic Boom or the blue. I think I prefer the Boom since I'd rather have a castable spell. Looking to Arsenal the Tome of Fiendols early. So block with the 2 blues. Get a nice draw in the Scalding Rain. That's probably the one I'm going to shoot at him here. Just maximize the pressure early, try to take the tempo. No pun intended. Here I do mess up a little bit, yeah. Because we want to pitch the Sonic Boom, get that out of our hand. Opponent responds with a Channel Lake Frigid. And that's going to give us a Frostbite. And then this is why I love the Waning Moon into the Icelanders. And I think it's actually game breaking for them. Just waiting for priority, because here I'm able to just pitch my blue, activate Waning Moon in response to everything. Force my opponent to either AB or take 2 here. Or having 2 floating up, so I can still AB their Waning Moon after their Channel Lake, which is going to cost them even more resources. So already off to a really good start. Keep in mind as well, we do want to maximize the pressure when your opponent does play a Channel Lake. The best case scenario being that we make them have to pitch their Ice Blues to stay alive. I found in the Kano matchups against Icelander, you do want to play through the Channel Lakes, not avoid them. Otherwise they're really going to maximize how many turns they're going to get out of them. So that's a big reason I love the Scalding Range still. 1 mana turns into 2, which is fine, still castable. So it looked like he did AB the Waning Moon. And now he's got the option, is he going to AB the Scalding Rain or is he going to let his Channel Lake die, pretty much. But even if he doesn't AB the Scalding Rain, takes 4, he still has to cast the spell to pitch the blue to keep the channel. So yeah, the opponent just looks to Waning Moon me. Probably doesn't have a castable spell for that ice card he just pitched. So 1 card in hand, it is impossible, I believe, for them to keep that Channel Lake around. So super happy with that. Crazy good exchange to start off the game. Also Arsenal this Tome of Fiendol, best card in the matchup, easily. All through Festive Cycle, you should be looking to Arsenal your Tome of Fiendol and get as much value as you can. So here you can see I just snap, play it, pitching one of the Blazing Aethers. Don't really want to Arsenal that card earlier. Gets trapped in there. So the opponent responds with another Channel Lake. So here, what's my thought process? Here I'm probably looking at Kanoing, because I don't really value gaining exactly 5 health. I don't mind seeing what I'm going to draw and try to plan out my attack this turn. Because like I said before, we want to play through the Channel Lake and not avoid it. So yeah. Happy to lose 1 life for this Kano. So Emerator Scalding. It's a little awkward here. There's only 2 resources for 2. And I'm probably going to let the Frostbite and Channel Lake resolve here. So it's actually going to be 4 for 2, which is not amazing, I will admit. But keep in mind we're going to draw 2 cards off Tome. So stuff will be castable. We'll let it all resolve. Maybe there was a misplay. Maybe I'm just meant to let all that resolve and just play through all that. But here, pretty awkward draw. 2 reds. Still able to cast the Scalding and moon them, I believe. And then Arsenal the Tome. Yeah, just looking to pitch away our Aether Wildfires and our Blazings early, as we don't want them to get trapped in Arsenal. We don't want anything to make us have to pop our boots to get out of our arsenal without it being awkward. So just looking at Arsenal this time at Aether Wind. Nice 1-card hand if it comes to it. If for some reason the opponent goes, oh well, he can't right here, and unless he goes like E-Strike, go again into Wounded Bull, and I have to block with all 4. Giving us a good option for that. So the opponent, so once again he's in that spot where he's got 2 cards, so we're pretty happy if he plays something to keep out the channel leg, meaning he doesn't get an Arsenal. And if he doesn't do that, then his channel leg's just dead anyway. So we're happy either way. So you got to tackle those channel legs. Just stack it up in a nice order there. Making sure to put the Blazings next to each other. Then the opponent plays an Insidious. I can't remember if he had an ice card or not from his last turn. Should have been paying attention there, but yeah, his channel leg ends up dying there. Super bad for the opponent. It's an easy option. Always want to lead off with your spell. Don't activate Kano, pitch in a blue here, giving the opponent any windows. We're just going to straight up play our spell first, draw 2 cards. As you can see, we've got 6 blues, so we get to start spinning here. If you're a gambling addict, you must be loving this. So we hit the Aether Dart. I think we'll roll before just in case we hit some Tome of Aether Winds and we want to buff the Aether Dart a little bit or something like that. Just give us more information. So we get a Voltic Bolt, exactly why I love this blue in your Kano deck. It's just a blue that hits for 3. So we're going to send an Aether Dart here if he wants to pitch a blue here, or any card, we're happy. If he wants to take one, we're happy. Very good. Also makes it a bit awkward knowing he knows the Voltic Bolt's going to come, so he's more inclined to let the 1 hit so he can keep as many cards in his hand as possible. And then here we just shoot the Voltic Bolt, see if he gives us a card. We could Kano there again and maybe hit a red or something that we're able to cast, but I'd rather just send the Voltic Bolt denying information from the Isylander here. So he doesn't know if he should AB this or if I'm going to roll, hit a red off the top, and then he should have saved his AB for that. So this way we can get the most cards out of his hand. Also just got Potion of Deja Vu, looking to Arsenal that at the end. And then play it on our next turn, along with some Waning Moon activations and stuff. So here, he did give us the blue, and then perfect. Scalding Rain. 1 floating as well, so we just get to shoot it for 4 here. Beautiful card. Always love this card. See if the opponent wants to give us another card on top. Which he does, which is a red. And then we're going to end it off with another 2 for Waning Moon. So I'm guessing the opponent just takes that too. So happy with that. Big damage turn there. Off of just Tome of the Aether Wind and some rolls. And making sure we order everything correctly. Here, a little bit of an awkward hand. The opponent did go shields down, and I do have Illuvian on 2, so I think I am kind of devoed to not see more blues in my hand. Yeah, you can see me. A little bit angry here because I wish I had some more blues to just cast Cindering from my hand and just start spinning off the top and blasting the opponent. But yeah, we're happy to just block with 2 Aether Spindles because they're a bit awkward. 2 cost reds. And then follow that same plan as before, playing the potion into a Waning Moon. Once again, the opponent with no arsenal, so we've really taken the tempo from him. Don't feel under any pressure here either. So easy potion, easy 2 damage, opponent takes it, and now we get to arsenal our Cindering. So we're loving life. Looking at these draws, yep, straight want to put that tome into the arsenal ASAP, so I will be casting the Cindering this turn no matter what. Whether it's for a big turn or a small turn, shouldn't matter too much because we can't expect to get a lot off when the opponent still has 4 cards in hand. And now the opponent leads off with an Aether Ice Vein red, triggering their Insidious. So I've actually got a big turn here. So here's just some thought processes. Oh, the opponent just misordered. I wants to play out the Amulet of Ice he revealed. Just smart if he has another ice. Though the other ice is a Frost Hex, and I do not believe this card is very good in the matchup. I believe this card is actually quite the opposite. This card is extremely bad in this matchup. You do not want to be paying 3 resources as an Iyslander in the face of a Kano. So yeah, I'm happy to just cast the Cindering Foresight from Arsenal as an instant. And then we see some pretty good cards on first sight. So when you first see these, you think these are very good. But the problem here is if we Kano into this Wildfire and shoot it, yeah, here, you can see me looking at it. If I shoot the opponent and he takes 4, we're actually going to take 8 from the Ice Vein. And I'm just not happy with that trade. Obviously 4 for 8. I would be able to cast Aether Ice Vein into the Scalding as well, which would be 4 if he takes 4, then it's another 5, so it's 9 all up. But then I'm shields down, no cards in hand or anything like that, and I still take 8, and I lose my hand because of the Insidious. So it's kind of awkward like that. Then I think I would be thinking maybe just shooting the Scalding at him, but then obviously the Insidious into the Ice Vein is going to strip the rest of my hand. So it's quite awkward resource wise. I think the line I do end up choosing, yeah, you can see me looking here. We can actually pretty much counter the Insidious and Ice Vein with the 2 blues in our hand without keeping the E-Pot and Tome of Fiendo. So just paying 2 with the Scalding to the Insidious, 1 floating, and then we can actually use the Gaze to AB2 the Ice Vein with 2 floating, and then just pay the 2 instead of discarding. Oh, gotta exit off Facebook, eh? So yeah, you can see me doing this option here. We'll just send the 3 using the Alluvion. Always happy to use those 2 counters to deal 3 damage. So here, yeah, we're gonna pay with the Gaze, 1 floating. So we actually get the AB2 with the Scalding Rain. Pitching the Scalding, 2 floating, so we'll pay the 2 instead of discarding. And we're still happy, we still got 1 card hand, lived through all that. Life totals are close. And still got all the resources up. Also get an Alluvion counter there, so very happy with that. So could be punished here if he has another, oh no, that was the thing, he had the Frost Hex. So I knew it was safe. Another thought process I would have had was if I cast the E-Pot and then the opponent had another Fuse card to make me discard my Tome or pitch it away, that would be super punishing. So I think that's why I ended up on this line as well. So he's got to keep those in mind. But since the opponent did reveal the Frost Hex to the Ice Vein, super safe to just play the E-Pot, Arsenal Tome. If the opponent wants to hit me up, I'm going to happily take some damage because the Tome's just going to get it back anyway, and just snatch back that tempo. So yeah, we're going to take 3. Now the opponent also has to be scared here because we've got 2 potions out. Another Sigil of Solace. Not too sure if that card's good into the matchup. Can't figure it out. Quite low impact. So yeah, we got the Wildfire. Oh, to be noted as well, I did keep all 3 of the cards on top with the Kano. Happy to Arsenal one of the Wildfires, but use it as a shoot 'em for 5, or shoot 'em for 4, sorry. But since we got 2, I'll use the second one, just pitch it out. Look the Tome. The opponent wants to cast Amulet of Ice and Waning Moon. Happy to AB3. Just take my Alluvion counter. It's also, the card was going to gain me 1 life anyway, but might as well just turn it into gain 3 life. Then we use our Alluvion to make our Waning Moon cost 3 less. So we get to eat up the Frostbite that we take this turn, which actually negates the Frost Hex damage as well. So all up the Waning Moon, well, Alluvion Waning Moon was 0 resources, and then deal 2 and gain 1. So that's why that card's super good. Here we got some interesting cards. Yeah, we just want to look to Arsenal the lesson now. and banishing a third lesson. So we will just shoot that, keeping 2 floating. Not that I don't think the opponent can do anything. So just demand another card out of the opponent, make his turn as weak as we can. It's fine, and then we just look to Arsenal the lesson. So it already feels like we're gaining the tempo back after 1 Tome of Fiendel. That's why the card's the best card in this whole matchup. And then as you can see, another Tome of Fiendel, so you already know what we're going to do with that. A little bit awkward with the reds, but we'll pitch away the reds to the lesson and the Waning Moon and stuff like that. So yeah, looking to just cast this lesson. I think I'm just deciding on which red I'd rather cast, get out of my hand immediately, though I don't think it matters. We can get both out. So yeah, just shoot him for 3, see if the opponent has any responses. He ends up pitching 2 reds and a blue. So kind of awkward there. I'm not too sure what I'd do here. Yeah, probably just shoot him for 2 because I don't want him to have a free Waning Moon at the end of the turn. Make him use those 2 resources. And then make him have to use his 2 counters out of his 3 on his Alluvion to Waning Moon me. But the opponent just doesn't even cast the Arsenal slot anyway. So it must be a red card. But yeah, happy to Arsenal another Tome. And then here we see a Fiendel's Fighting Spirit for 7. At least he doesn't gain the health here, but a 7 is a pretty big hit. So we've got a couple thought processes here. Since we have a Potion of Deja Vu, we can just play this out and block out, and then keep the Tome for a bigger turn. Though that's quite low impact or quite low pressure. Also, we have a Potion of Deja Vu out already. So stacking them up, multiples of them isn't that good. So then my next process is maybe blocking with 2, using the potion to cast the Tome, gain 3. So we'll take 1 from the Fiendel's Fighting Spirit, and then we'll gain 3. So we're actually at 25, 27? 27 health. So it'll be equal health with 3 cards in hand, 2 floating, which is not that bad. But I think I'm down to keep the Snapback in my hand for the Tome turn, just to maximize the damage. Like, I'm happy to trade health here, as you know, because I'm already up tempo, and we've seen how much tempo the Tome of Fiendel can really give us. So yeah, I think I'll look to just block for 3. The Tome of Fiendel is going to gain us 4 when we pitch our blue. So we're going to go straight back to the health that we were at. 2 floating. Now we got 4 cards in hand with a Snapback. Activate Kano. We're just looking for a wizard card to help us cast a Snapback. Making sure we're pitching the Potion of Deja Vu because it's the worst card in our hand. Worst blue in our hand, sorry. Yeah, so any blue wizard card, just shoot that off straight away. The opponent AB 2s. And then, so here we can just activate Waning Moon without blue. So we do it in this order because if we just shoot the Snapback first, they're more inclined to just give us a 3 block and block the 3. Whereas if we shoot the Waning Moon 2, he might be reluctant to give us another blue, just in case we have nothing else. So yeah, the opponent does take 1 there. And then we just use the 1 floating to Snapback for 3 as well. Now putting him on the decision, does he want to be at 23, lower life than us? Or does he want to give us a card and make his turn a little bit worse again? And yeah, just looking to Arsenal this potion. Yeah, really common play pattern in this matchup is arsenaling your potion, playing it out, and then just Waning Moon off of it. So yeah, the opponent takes 3. Now we're in a comfortable health lead. Arsenaling a potion, 2 reds, another potion, and a Voltic. And the opponent plays another Insidious Chill. Pretty scary, pretty scary. Oh, so here I'm actually looking at maybe trying to take that last card out of him. I'm thinking because he didn't AB anything or anything like that, that must be a high value card in his arsenal, or that he's looking to arsenal. So I'm just trying to figure out if I'm able to pitch Spindle and Blazing to Kano, then activate my Potion of Deja Vu, and then hopefully get some good damage in. But the thing is, I don't have Illuvian counters for a free 3 damage. I believe if I did have that, I would be happy to send it, making my Blazing Aether essentially hit for 6. Because say he AB3s the Spindle, take 1, goes to 22. Then we can Kano into the Blazing, and then we can pop the Illuvian to Waning Moon for 3. So now the opponent's taken 4, so he's gone to 18. And then Blazing Aether comes in for 4 now, putting him down to 14, which is really close to kill range. So I would have done it if it was like that, but if I want to play the Waning Moon in his turn here, I'd have to pop my E-Pot, and I'm not happy with that. Especially when my other option is just playing out an E-Pot and then Waning Moon him, pitching probably the Blazing Aether. Maybe even both the reds, can't remember what I pitch exactly. So it was a good blue. I was correct on that assessment that he's a high value blue he's looking at Arsenal. But yeah, like it's Channel Lake again. So like I said before, we're just going to look to pressure him through the Channel Lake, not around it. Here, trying to figure out exactly what to pitch, what I want to Arsenal. Oh, so we Kano in response, and then we see a really awkward card. So we see Chain Lightning. So the Chain, since the Energy Pot isn't a wizard card, it actually doesn't give us the 3 damage, letting us deal 3 and then Spindle and then maybe Waning Moon after. So super awkward here. That's why I only run this card as a one-of. Though keep in mind, we do have a Potion of Deja Vu out, so I don't mind drawing it for the next turn, or the turn after that, because he's going to have Channel Lake out, obviously, for his turn, so we can't really punish him using it like that. But yeah, so we're just going to Waning Moon here. Yeah, but that key thing actually, when seeing that Chain Lightning, actually inclines me to keep the Blazing Aether in my arsenal, since I know with Chain Lightning and Potion of Deja Vu in my hand, I'm able to essentially cast it out of my arsenal while keeping my boots for a decent value. Yeah, so the opponent just shoots his Waning Moon at me. Happy to take the Illuvian counter AB2 with the 2 floating. Gonna take 1 extra from the Frost Hex, which we don't mind. And then Arsenal here, yeah. So here, quite a good power play from the opponent. He's going to have an Arsenal while attacking us for 7 here. And there's not really much we can do here through the Channel Lake. So we are just going to be looking to block, just trying to figure out exactly what I want to do on my turn and how much health I want to save. I think I do go for a pretty complicated play here, actually, on my turn. So my first thought process would just be double block, take 1, but then there's not much I can do on my turn. Maybe cast the Gaze, which is obviously super low impact, doesn't go back to my hand. I don't really want to block with the Chain because I want to keep it in my deck for search target, or just keep it in my hand with Potion of Deja Vu, looking to get this Blazing Aether out. So I'm a little bit of an awkward spot here. So yeah, as you can see, I was contemplating just casting Gaze out on my turn, but super low impact, so I end up just blocking for 3. Happy to take 4. Life totals are still pretty close, even if I take this 4 here. A thing to be noted also is he's not pitching a Ice card, so the Channel Lake will be dead this turn. Yeah, so Channel Lake dies. And then, yeah, I think I'm gonna cast the Aether Dart. So I had muscle memory there, just insta-shoot it at him, but my plan is actually to Aether Dart myself, deny an Illuvian counter off my opponent, pitch my Gaze to AB my own Aether Dart, which gives me an Illuvian Constellus counter, so buffing up my Potion of Deja Vu Chain into Blazing Aether turn on his turn, this next turn. Yeah, you can just see me telling my opponent that I'm shooting myself, just so he doesn't try and do anything and then like misplay, because obviously it's quite a weird play that he probably wasn't expecting. So yeah, deal 1 to myself, I'll AB it to gain the Illuvian counters, and now I still have 2 floating, so if the opponent wants to do anything and respond to my turn, I can still AB it, or I can Waning Moon in response. Pretty happy to trade life if he wants to do anything. So here he's got a very good one actually, since he's got double Insidious Chill Out, Ice Eternal. Yeah, you can just see me in chat explaining to the opponent what's happening. All my thought process behind it. So yeah, so this is pretty unfortunate. The opponent's casting Ice Eternal for 4. So it's for 2, X equals 2 here, for 2 Frostbites, 2 damage, and then Frost X going to deal 2. But the more scary part is the double Insidious that's triggering. So we're not going to be able to AB much of it, if any of it. Yeah, I don't think we can AB any. So I believe I'm just going to use my 2 to Waning Moon in response, and then sad to see the Chain Lightning have to go to one of the Insidious triggers, but that's how it works. Sometimes you get got. Key thing to notice is the opponent only has 2 cards in hand, so we can look to be aggressive if the hand allows us in his turn. So yeah, we Waning Moon. Looks like he took the 2. No, he AB'd the 2, sorry. The opponent activates his Illuvian. And then his Waning Moon. I just tell him he should wait for his Insidious trigger to strip my hand before Waning Moon. Otherwise I just get some free AB here. So yeah, we fix that. Yeah, so trigger the Insidious, have to pitch my yellow. Very sad. Then we're going to take this 3 since we've got nothing left, and I refuse to pop my E-Pots for bare minimum unless needed. So Insidious, second Insidious doesn't do much, and then Ice Eternal comes in for 2 damage, but essentially 4 with the Frost X. So we do take a fat chunk here. Though, to be noted is the opponent is 1 card in hand, pretty much shields down. So as long as we can get some blues and maybe 1 red or a yellow here, we might be able to close the game out right here, right now. Punish the opponent's overextension. 2 counters, 3 pots, and then yeah, here we see triple or double snapback. So I'm very excited to just spin Kano right now and start firing it all at him. So here we see a Tome of the Aether Wind, good hit off the top. I think my first process here was thinking or checking if Tome for buff into Snapback with Metacarpus into Snapback, Constellas, and then Blazing kills him through AB3. I think I figured out if he AB3s the first Snapback for 6, he'll take 3 down to 19. Second Snapback will hit for 4 with Metacarpus, so he'll go to 15. Luvian puts him to 12. And then all up, he only took 10. So he'll go down to 2 through AB3. Just to speed up the thought process there. So we didn't kill him through AB3 there. So I think I do decide to just draw cards with Tome. Hopefully hit some more blues. Even if we don't hit more blues, we can use the Ragamuffins to put the red cards or anything on top that we want. So just making sure we want to check all the math on both the lines before we commit to one. Yeah, you just see me figuring it out. Yeah, figure out that I just want to draw. Another thing to be noted, the Tome is the wizard card for this turn, which allows us to play the snapbacks at instant speed. So yeah, draw. Pretty good draws. Blue and a card that we wouldn't mind ragamuffing, using ragamuffins on. So here we don't even need to math it out. I'm pretty sure the opponent's just dead. We'll pop the Illuvian to shoot the Waning Moon, see if the opponent gives us the card straight away, giving us the green light to send it all. But either way, we're going to send it all. So send the snapback, pitch in the blue, and then we are going to pay Metacarpus here because we're looking to cast 3 to 4 spells here, and happy to use Metacarpus for 4 damage. So yeah, opponent takes the first 4, send it again, pop the E-pot as well so we can pay for Metacarpus. So another 4 at the opponent. The opponent's already taken 11. So Blazing right now is for 11, but obviously if he has a blue, even just a red, it saves him. So we're going to use our Kano and then Ragamuffins in response to put the Sonic Boom on top. But then we actually find an Aether Wildfire on top. So probably going to put the Wildfire back on top, then pop our E-pot, cast the Wildfire. Even if the opponent ABs the Wildfire, we get to use the floating to pop Storm Striders and shoot Blazing Aether for lethal. So yeah, we just put Wildfire back on top. Let the Kano resolve now, banishing the Wildfire. We'll crack the E-pot first before anything. Just don't give the opponent a good window to attack us with. And then easy, shoot the Wildfire, pay the Metacarpus because we got 1 floating. Shoot the opponent for 5, so he should AB this, but even if he does, I think here he realizes that he's dead either way. So yeah, he lost the 5, just pop the Storm Striders, pitching the Sonic, and then here, just in case we're not going to Metacarpus it, be a Blazing for 22, I believe, something like that. So it's 16 plus 5, 21. GG's indeed. The opponent wigging out. But yeah, that's essentially the Wizard matchup from the Kano perspective. If you guys like more vids like this, I'm happy to do more. But yeah, really love explaining everything out. There's a bit of statistics here on the board if you guys want to pause and have a look at that. But yeah, for now, I'm outie.